For the purposes of debate only, I yield the customary 30 minutes to the distinguished ranking member of the Rules Committee from Oklahoma, Mr. Cole, pending which I yield myself such time as I may consume. During consideration of this resolution, all time yielded is for the purposes of debate only. I ask unanimous consent that all members be given 5 legislative days to revise and extend their remarks.
Without objection.
Madam Speaker, yesterday the Rules Committee met and reported a rule, House Resolution 795, providing for consideration of House Resolution 789, censuring Representative Paul Gosar under a closed rule. The rule self-executes a manager's amendment from Chairman Deutsch and provides 1 hour of general debate equally divided and controlled by the chair and ranking minority member of the Committee on Ethics or their respective designees. Madam Speaker, in any other Congress, the actions of Representative Paul Gosar might be easier to dismiss. After all, every single minute of every single day, 5,000 minutes of content are uploaded onto YouTube. So my colleagues across the aisle or the public might ask, who cares about one YouTube video post by Representative Gosar? He's just one of many Americans posting his fantasies online, even if his involve a violent scene in which he attacks and murders people that he has labeled as enemies of the American people, a colleague in Congress, and the President of the United States. But it's just an anime video, so it's not a big deal, right? Actually, it is a big deal, and here's why. People listen to Paul Gosar. He's an elected official, and that gives him credibility, whether justified or not. So while there are indeed 5,000 minutes of current content uploaded every single minute of every single day, Mr. Gosar's video got real attention, just as he intended. American citizens stopped what they were doing to watch something that a member of the U.S. Congress had fashioned. He posted it on his official congressional social media, where he has hundreds of thousands of followers, and where the video was viewed over 3 million times. And what he posted was violence, fantasized violence, a wish made in a very specific way. As I said, in any other decade or any other Congress, this public endorsement of violence by a member of Congress might have been excused as a lapse in judgment, or even possibly a bad joke. But this Congress knows what happens when members of the radical right get stirred up by their leaders. Just a few months ago, this Congress had to hide in safe rooms under the protection of police and soldiers, or barricade ourselves in our offices because our place of work was overrun by armed citizens who wanted to hang some of us. This Congress has seen threats against members of Congress more than double, forcing members to pay for additional security for their homes, offices, and families, rethink how to engage with constituents, and even wear bulletproof vests to public events. So when a member of this Congress fantasizes in public about beheading another member of Congress, it is not fantasy to think that there are Americans out there who will take such a video as a call to action. A recent poll reported that 85% of Americans get their news from Facebook, while only 13% of Americans get their news from print. Are we really to believe that during this moment in time, that among that 85%, there are no Americans who will see this video and indulge in fantasies of their own? Every single day, members of this body receive death threats. I've gotten them. We all have. Our staffs and family have to deal with abusive and violent phone calls, emails, letters, and social media posts. And these threats are particularly numerous and violent for members who are women of color. So every day we have to deal with the threat that somewhere out there is a radicalized American who's been taught to hate us, to regard us as evil, to fantasize, and even mobilize using that same social media to eliminate us, taught by conspiracy theorists and far-right extremists, or by a fellow member of Congress. That's not imagination, that's fact. In any other context, and especially in any other workplace, someone posting a video of himself killing a coworker would not be acceptable, and an employee who did that would almost certainly be fired. In any other context, and especially in a school, a student using school resources to post a video of himself beheading a classmate and attacking a school official would not be acceptable. And that student would face disciplinary charges, if not criminal charges, and would likely be referred for a mental health evaluation. But for the privileges traditionally afforded to members of Congress, in any other context, someone posting a video of himself killing a member of Congress and attacking the President of the United States would almost certainly be reported to the Secret Service and U.S. Capitol Police. We must condemn this celebration of political violence because in addition to upholding the honor and integrity of the U.S. Congress, every member of this body deserves to come to work and feel safe. That is true for any worker in any part of this country. It's unacceptable that our colleague would have to sit across from someone who's threatened her life in such a vivid way, and it's unacceptable for this body to let that action go unpunished. This is the House of Representatives of the United States Congress. We are all elected to be the leaders of this great country, and with that role comes immense responsibilities. People look up to us. They take our lead. So when a member posts a video of himself killing his colleague, that's obviously going to have an impact on the way people approach their politics. So we cannot dismiss Representative Gosar's violent fantasies as a joke, because in this decade, in this America, someone's going to take him seriously. He's a public figure, and as we vividly saw on January 6th, the words and actions of public figures can readily act as a spark to the tinder of radical extremism, and God help us all when that happens. Madam Speaker, I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman